ever stop to think about your hearing, or is that something that you, like many people, often take for granted?
You probably remember when Lou Ferrigno was on Delmarva Life last fall. In reference to his hearing loss, Lou once said, "If I hadn't lost my hearing, I wouldn't be where I am now. It forced me to maximize my own potential. I have to be better than the average person to succeed." Well, as nice as it would be, we can't all be Lou Ferrigno, so we have to protect our hearing as much as possible.
Your ears are important in maintaining balance, protecting against infection, and controlling body temperature. Here are 3 things to avoid to keep your ears healthy and working. Our ears are barraged by a combination of music, traffic, and phones, but noise isn't the only thing that can damage your ears. First, stop using Q-tips. They're not made for ears, and using them can rupture your eardrum, cause infection, or scratch your ear canal. Also, avoid piercing your cartilage. Doing so can cause a serious infection called periochondritis, which is treated with drugs administered via an IV. The last is using eardrops for swimmer's ear. If you have a perforated eardrum, the drops could cause deafness. A variety of other things can hurt your ears, so it's important to be careful. Experts say wrestling, diving, and frequent concert going can all cause irreversible damage to your hearing. It's important to see a doctor if you suspect anything is wrong with your ears.
So we know that different people hear different things. Some hear high frequency sounds, some people hear low frequency sounds. Some people hear well and some not so much. Have you ever wondered, though, how we compare to animals? Well, according to Glencoe.com, compared to other reptiles, crocodiles have very well developed hearing and communicate with various roars, bellows, and hisses. Mice, on the other hand, can hear very high frequencies, which allows them to communicate without being heard by predators.
Taking things a step further, bats are extremely sensitive to high frequency sound and use echolocation to find even the tiniest prey. And what about our dogs? Well, what do they hear? Well, in general, the average dog hears pretty much the same things we do, as well as frequencies that are a little higher. But some dogs don't hear so well, and neither do some people.
And that is where one can help the other. Just like seeing eye dogs are for the blind, there are hearing ear dogs for the deaf. They help with knowing there are sounds that their human needs to know, like a knock at the door or maybe a siren coming. And sometimes those dogs help just by being there. At the Seed Center, staff members and young volunteers help kids dealing with deafness and hearing loss. A silent world can be a lonely place. But things have opened up a little since a new teacher arrived. This is Nan. Nan's a 2-year-old retriever mix who has a very special talent.
Yeah, they all clutter to her. Forget about what I'm teaching. So she is the star of the show.
Kids who are normally quiet and withdrawn seem to blossom when Nan enters the room.
There's students in our program who will come up to Nan and say hello to her, and they have a really hard time talking to any human in the building.
Nan is a certified facility dog. She's always calm and patient, even when the kids try to help her wag her tail and break out the tennis ball. And things get really exciting, even though fetch is a very difficult word for deaf kids to say. 4-year-old Lucas says it's a lot more fun to play fetch with Nan than the pet snails that she has at home.
And snails would need a really tiny ball, and it might roll off their tongue.
That's not a problem for Nan. And while life can be confusing when you can't hear well, the kids' feelings for Nan come through loud and clear.
I love Nan.
I think she loves you too.
No.
No, you don't think so?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's settled. Isn't that a great story?
It is.
I just love that story. Now, I can tell you from personal experience that my wife, Carol, had her hearing ear dog, Lacey. There she is. And Carol was teaching elementary special education. There was one little girl named Devin who wouldn't talk to anyone, no matter how hard you tried. But then Carol noticed that Lacey would go sit with Devin, and Devin would talk to her. And that's how she started communicating, was by talking to Lacey.
I remember Lacey.
She's a good dog.
Great dog. Well, something that I can tell you from personal experience, although it's very rewarding, raising a family isn't cheap or easy, but there are tools that can help. Up next, we're going to tell you about one of them and Hear how it's making moms' lives a lot easier.
Well, this working mom also wants to make your life easier. Actress Busy Phillips drops in to share with us a few kid-friendly summer fun ideas. Of course, we can't let her go without asking her about the final season of Cougar Town.
And later, the summer season means plenty of fresh produce here on Delmarva. We're in the kitchen using that produce to make a tasty vegetable tian. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.